Hey everybody, welcome to John Wayne Lied to You, the storytelling podcast featuring me, John Wayne, your old pal, that you know from things that he does, like this podcast. Welcome everybody. I'm excited today. It's a good day to sit down and be here with you. I'm, of course, back in Wayne Manor, tucked away in the Library of Evil on the east wing of the manor, and I'm just sitting here, and it's a beautiful fucking day outside. Got myself some Grandpappy's medicine loaded up and ready to go, and just want to sit down and tell a story to you folks. This has been a good week. I've been very excited this week. Last Tuesday, October the 3rd, my new book, Death Packs and Left-Hand Paths, from Grindhouse Press, officially released. And, like I've said before, I've been hyping it up on the show here. I'm very excited about this book. I don't know, I've just been really stoked on it coming out. I'm very excited to be a part of the Grindhouse Press family, and it's just very important to me. So I'm trying to get it out there and put some numbers on the board. So check it out, guys. If you like horror and it's got a little bizarro element, maybe more horror. Yeah, it's not really that bizarro, actually, when I think about it. But, just to give you the rundown, it's about a dude who thinks that he wants something really bad, and wants it bad enough to conjure an entity from another dark plane in order to give him what he thinks he wants. And there's always a price, unfortunately. And when he finds out that he has to start killing for every single thing that he wants from this entity, things get a little out of control. He finds it hard to stop himself, and he kind of goes balls deep. But so that's the long and short. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but just to give you a little taste. Also, I did do 2 live readings, on Tuesday when the book came out. Those are, I did one on my Facebook Live and then one on my Instagram Live. I think the Instagram one it's gone. It goes away after like 24 hours or something weird like that. But the Facebook one is still up on my profile if you follow me at John Wayne Communale, my name. It'll be on there. You can see a live reading, which is actually the opening of the book, and could give you even more idea if you want to check it out. So, again, just go to Amazon, guys. Search for Death Packs and Left-Hand Paths, or you can search for my name, John Wayne Communale. All my books will come up. John Wayne Lied to You, named for the podcast, Charge Land, Ant Poster, Porn Star Retirement Plan. All the things. And also, I'm so plug heavy up top. Sorry, guys. But I was really excited about this because I have a short story coming out in a magazine called Broadswords and Blasters. And it's only available in the Kindle store. So it's a e-magazine, I guess. But it's very cool. And I saw that it was up for pre-order. And it comes out October 15th. Or no, I'm sorry. It comes out October 13th. Friday the 13th. So when you get this by Friday, you could order that magazine and read a new story, and we'll just be closer than ever. Anyway, what else happened this week that was cool? I think I mentioned last time, Chris and I, in our band John Wayne is Dead, were added to our buddies in Downfall 2012. Awesome fucking Houston band that tours all over the place and is about to hit the road again. They just put out a new record called We Welcome the Pain, and they had a release show, and they put us on it, and we were very excited to be on it, and I think that we came in there and absolutely wrecked that shit in a big bad way, if I do say so myself. A lot of energy. The show overall was great. Downfall 2012 was amazing. If you haven't checked them out, please do. I think that you will find it worth your while. If not, well, it's not everything is not for everybody, and that's all I have to say about that. But no, the show went well, and it was good, man. So it's been a cool week. It's exciting, but nonetheless, enough about me. Let's talk about me. Last week on the podcast, I did something that was kind of cool, and I decided to do it again and maybe keep it going if it keeps being kind of cool. But as I said, I was messing with my tarot deck. I got a little interested in the tarot after I had some readings, and Last week I drew 3 cards and kind of read off what it meant. And this week I did the same. I came in here before I started recording and shuffled the shit out of my deck, and I drew 3 cards. And the cards that I got today are the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Devil. Now, sounds pretty fucking metal already. But so I went in and I did, I still don't know all the cards by heart or anything like that. I'm just a young Padawan learner. But I looked it up. So the Eight of Pentacles, what I get from that is it represents a time of learning a new skill and trying something new. So that's cool. Maybe I should start taking up woodworking or something. I don't know if there's anything I've been thinking about new doing. Besides doing some animation stuff I want to try and that maybe it means that I don't know. So I'll think about that. I'll meditate on it. Then the Nine of Pentacles, that signifies it shows that you've accomplished something great, and you have a real sense of peace and satisfaction and fulfillment from your creative venture or personal venture. So that I took that immediately as being like, well, I mean, my new book just came out. I feel, satisfied for that. I did something and now it's out. The fruits of my labor have paid off. So that was kind of cool. And then the Devil. There's a lot of stuff about the Devil card that I read, but one of the things as far as like I felt like maybe was applying to me. There's the wings that are on the Devil. Those are wings of a vampire bat, and they represent what happens basically when you give full reign to the realm of raw desire. The vampire sucks our vitality and life energy when we do that. And what I took away from that is like, I have a pretty strong tendency that most people who know me would agree to just do whatever I want. And within reason, I'm not some maniac. I'm a savage, but who isn't these days? But I don't know. Maybe I need to think about that. Am I cutting loose too much? Am I burning myself out in some way? My life energy? I don't know. But it is better to burn out than fade away, isn't it? Who knows? But that was my tarot cards for today for the episode. So I guess I'll take that what I will, and we'll see if we can do this next time. And if something does present itself during the week that I think applies to the tarot reading, I'll bring that up next time and we can talk about it. Speaking of talking about things, let's talk about the story we're going to tell today. This comes from John Wayne is Dead, the band that I play in with myself and Chris Jett, being on the road on tour. And I was reminded of this story when I was at Brash Brewery having some beers the other day. Shouts out to Brash, my favorite. My buddy Atom works there, a.k.a. the Chief. Adam is also the tour manager and tude manager of John Wayne is Dead. So whenever we're on the road, he goes out with us. And we love him to death, and he's a very good friend of mine. But he reminded me of this crazy time we had in Arkansas one night. And I was like, dude, I haven't even fucking thought of that, or even in terms of a story. And he was like, you need to tell that story. And I said, you know what? I fucking will. So I fucking am right now. So check it out, guys. Buckle in for another fabulous tour road story of the life and death of John Wayne is Dead in Arkansas. So, John Wayne is Dead is on tour, and it's myself and Chris Jett and Atom, our road manager / tude manager, and we're on about I think a 15-day tour, and we had just completed like Texas, so we played I think like five nights in a row in Texas, and our last stop was in Denton, Texas, which is just north of Dallas, if you're unfamiliar with that. And Denton's a badass town. One of my favorite places to go and play. R.I.P. JJ's basement. Shouts out. But anyway, so we were in Denton, and Denton is very close to like the border of Oklahoma, like 45 minutes off, if that. So we're getting up there, but our next stop is Tennessee, right? And we have one day in between leaving Texas and getting to Tennessee where we would be off. So we, now we're in the groove. We didn't necessarily want to take a night off. We would want to pick up another show if we could. So we were talking to, I guess, a friend of maybe that, I want to say Chris's friend, or somebody that he knew, or a friend of a friend in Denton, that told us that he had a friend in Arkansas, in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we could easily hit Fayetteville on our way and then go to Tennessee the next day, and this guy could help us out with the show and a place to stay, right? So we're like, well, yeah, if he can do it, we're down. So I guess some communications go back and forth, and the guy's like, I guess the guy in Arkansas tells this friend of ours, like, yeah, I got them covered. Just have them come this way, and I'll make sure everything's like taken care of and lined up when they get here, and they and tell them not to worry about anywhere to stay. They can stay at my apartment. So we're like, this is awesome, badass. Like, so we take off, and we're cruising, get out of Texas, get in Oklahoma, where I promptly get a speeding ticket for going 90 into 70. Thank you, Oklahoma State Troopers, doing your duty, and I appreciate that. Protect and serve. But anyway, not even that really brought me down or got us, down. We were like, yeah, we picked up another show, we're going. So we drive, we get to Arkansas. Now, Arkansas, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to Arkansas, but it is beautiful. It rolling hills, lush green, like everywhere you look. I was like, what the fuck is this place? It's like Narnia forests or something like that. So there's a lot of like very scenic driving once we got there. So we're even more stoked. We're like, yeah, dude, this is you know what? This is turning out good, man. All the tudes are dissolved. It's not, Adam doesn't have to mediate between Chris and I and our tudes, which flare up from time to time. And we're all jiving, man. We're feeling good. So, we get there. It's the middle of the afternoon. The guy that's helping us is at work. So we just kind of decide to kill time. We find a bar. We're very close to like University of Arkansas, the Razorbacks guys. We like drove across the campus to get to like the little town area where the bars and stuff were. So we found a bar that was open, and we just kind of went in and had some drinks, and we're sitting there. And somewhere here along the lines, like, we received communication either from this guy or our friend in Texas who's talked to the guy. It says like, hey, he's having trouble apparently locking this gig down for you. He's still trying, but he said it might not happen if he can't get this to work, whatever it was. And then I guess we suggested, like, well, should we start asking? We're in a bar right now that has a stage. Should we start asking, like, around? Like, maybe we can pick up a show on our own. We're already fucking here, right? So the guy's like, yeah, do that. So I think we asked in that bar. The guy, like, I guess gave us the boss's phone number, and he just wouldn't pick up. And I was like, why don't you fucking call your boss for us? Why? I mean, I explained the thing. I was like, hey, we're on tour. We're supposed to have a show tonight that fell through. We want to pick something up. He talked to whoever's in charge, and he's like, oh, that's the boss. Here, you can call him. And I'm like, okay. But he didn't answer. Anyway, didn't happen. So, see, this is a lot like, this was like some foreshadowing for the Donks story, which if you haven't heard that, we were also involved in trying to pick up a show going from bar to bar. But I won't spoil it if you haven't heard it. Go back, I think it's episode 2, The Great Donks Adventure. It's at the beginning somewhere. Also, in my book, John Wayne Lied to You, the mostly true accounts of a modern-day hero. Mostly true accounts of the adventures of a modern-day hero. Such a wordy title, but I don't regret it. Anyway, we start to do some searches and look for places to go that might have music. We're not having a whole lot of luck because it's still the middle of the afternoon, so a lot of these places aren't open, and there's no way to kind of communicate with them, so we're kind of waiting. We tried another couple of places, and it was pretty much looking like it wasn't going to happen on our end, because every time we asked somebody, like, or brought up the topic, gave them the whole spiel, they looked at us like we were from another fucking planet. Like, they had no idea what we were talking about. And all we would say was like, hey, we're a band on the road. We're from Texas. We had a show tonight that got canceled. We're trying to pick something up. Do you have music that maybe a show we could jump on? And It's like no one understood what we were talking about. So that was a little frustrating. So now you can see like we're kind of going, we were riding high on that fucking great feeling, and now we're kind of coming down a little bit. But we still have hope because we haven't heard the definite no or yes from this dude, right? So we're holding out hope. We end up going back to the first bar we were at to have a couple more drinks and wait for this guy to call us, right? He's supposed to call us 4 or 5 whenever he gets off work. End up running into some guys that were just sitting in there drawing, right? They were like, all had their art pads out and they're drawing, and I kind of like walked up to them. I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're doing, this is drink and draw. We drink and draw. And I was like, can I draw with you guys? And they were like, yeah, the more the merrier. And I had my sketchbook. So I brought it out, and I had my Repeatograph pen, and I was sketching and talking to these guys. So everything was cool. And then we get a call from the guy, and it's a definite no-go. We're not going to have a show that he thought he could have for us. Says he's really sorry, but he is down for us to meet him in a couple hours over at his apartment. Or if he asked us where we were, and he said, if you want to hang out for a little bit, I can come pick you guys up and bring you to my apartment. That's what it was. Which we didn't need to get picked up because we had a car. Maybe, oh, I know what it was. We were going to follow him. That's what it was. He was just going to lead us back. So we find this restaurant. It's a Mexican food restaurant in Arkansas. So right away we're like, what the fuck? We got to try this. But the reason we tried it was because it was like dollar drafts till 7 or something, like that was their special. So we just went in there and had awful Mexican food. It tasted like nothing, maybe garbage and newspaper, but not good. But dollar beers, even though they were shitty beers, like I think it was Bud Light and Corona, is $1. Who fucking cares? We're on the road, okay? We're not high fucking society here. So we drank a bunch of dollar beers. This cat comes up to the restaurant, meets us. He sits down. He has a beer too, and then he's like, "All right, well, sorry again." He apologizes like all profusely. We're like, "Hey man, shit happens. We're here now, so let's party." So he's like, "Okay, there's a beer store across the street. Let's go over there, stock up on some beer. We'll head back to my apartment." I'm like, sounds good. We go over there. We get the beer. It was a very cool store. A lot of craft beer from all over the country. So we were able to get some good stuff there for not too much money. And I have this memory all of a sudden that's like, oh, I brought some party favors that I've forgotten about. And here we have a night off after 5 hard nights of rockin'. Maybe tonight's a good night to favor myself with said favors. And what it was I brought some mushrooms, and magical psilocybin mushrooms, which I love, and they're my favorite. And I had actually had them in like pill form, where you take the mushrooms themselves and grind them up in like a coffee grinder, and you can order empty capsules and a tray that they go in, and you just dump them in there, and it's like you're making your own pharmacy. It's really fucking great. So I had brought some of those. It's easier to travel with. You put them in a pill bottle. No one's any the wiser. So I bring this up to Adam on the way home, on the way back to this guy's apartment. I know, Chris Jett, he doesn't fuck around with that kind of shit. I don't even try to convince him of anything anymore. But Adam was like, hey, maybe I'll take some of those mushrooms with you. And I was like, all right. Then I'm like, all right, don't tell this guy, because I don't want to share them with him. I don't even know him very well. So we'll just keep this to ourselves. If he turns out to be cool, I'll break him off some. They're like, all right, cool. So we show up at this guy's apartment. Now, when we first arrived, the whole, like, I guess, gravity of what was the situation it didn't really set in at first, because what we did was we walked in real quick. Hey, we put our shit down, put beer in the fridge, all took a beer, and then we all went immediately back out front to like smoke cigarettes, or I think we had a bowl going, and I had slipped when we were in there. I gave Adam a few of the mushroom pills. I took a few of them, and we just kind of like each went to the bathroom and took them discreetly. Okay, we're discreet, and we do that. We grab our beers. We go outside, right? So, first impressions when we walked in, off the bat, cat smell. Now, I know that a lot of people have cats, and there's a smell that sometimes can't be avoided that comes with the cat box. I understand that. Terrifies me. Not the smell itself, just of my house smelling like a cat box. We have 2 cats here at Wayne Manor, Scout and Wally. They came with my. They were bonus items that came with my lovely fiancée, Katie, when she moved in, and I'm just like terrified of people coming in and thinking it smells like cat in my house. So I go to great measures to keep it from smelling that way. Even like in where we have the litter box, it's in a bottom half of a bathroom closet that my neighbor helped me, Classic Ron, shouts out, thanks, to cut out a doorway in this cabinet that's on the floor for the cats to get through. It basically looks like a mouse hole, a cartoon mouse hole, but cat size. And they go in there and they shit and do their thing, and it stays in this little area, and it doesn't really smell. It stays good. Plus, we keep on top of it. I don't know. I'm weird. No offense to anybody who's not weird and thinks it's totally acceptable to not clean your litter box and keep it in a common space. It takes all kinds. But anyway, back to the story. First impressions, you walk in, definitely smell a cat smell. Like I said, we're not in there for very long, but we did take into account that it's a very small place. It's like you walk in like living room, you walk right into the living room, which doubled as a bedroom, and then there was one other room, a small room, like office room or whatever, a small little kitchen, and then a bathroom that was a part of the laundry room. But like super small. I'm not good with space and square feet, so I can't even venture to guess. I'm really fucking bad at that. But very small, very quaint. There's bunk beds in the living room area, and on the way out, hey, I notice a cat box by the front door, like next as you walk out, right? And it's one of those ones that has like the lid on it, like the tall kind of lid, like a dome, type thing. I guess that's to help catch some scent of some kind. I'm not sure. So we go outside, we start talking, and then I get a phone call that's from work. Now, at this point in time, I am managing my Starbucks store that I did for 10 years. Shouts out. And it's one of my shift supervisors who's calling me to say that he has the flu and he can't find anybody to work for him, but he called my district manager, and she got pissed off and told him to suck it up, and then she called and nobody can still do it. He doesn't know what to do, and I was like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to tell you? I'm in fucking Arkansas right now. So that, like, I was like, look, dude, you guys, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You're just gonna have to figure it out. You guys are gonna have to figure it out amongst each other, and I hang up, right? And then I also step off to call Katie, and I don't remember the exacts of what happened here, but we do get into some kind of argument, right? And so now I'm stepping away from these 2 back-to-back phone calls back into the fray of these people with this sour kind of taste in my mouth of like, fuck, man, it was a dose of reality. When you're out on the road, it's not reality. It's something very different. It's a different kind of reality. And then when like the claws of true reality try to break that thin membrane of awesomeness around you and pull you back to their reality, it sucks. It really does. So that was on my mind. So now we're sitting out there, we're talking. Keep in mind, we've ate mushrooms. We're smoking some weed. We're talking, hey, let's go back. Okay, let's go back inside. We go back inside. It's apartments. We don't want to be too loud outside. And now that we step back in the second time, it fully hits us. It doesn't just smell of cat. It reeks of cat box. The smell I'm talking about. Quadruple it by 100-fold, and you might have what this is. Now, keep in mind, like I said, very small space. And I said I saw that cat box by the door. What I did not see that first time, but what I was seeing now, was that next to that litter box was a second litter box exactly like it. And next to that one was a third litter box exactly like it. And next to that one was a fourth litter box exactly like it. 4 litter boxes. And you could just glance down and see that they were all in need of a good changing, or at least a scooping. They were full. So that is happening, and it's hanging thick in the air. It could almost have been a solid. It was so powerful. Another thing, I go to take a piss, and the dude that's hosting us says, let it mellow, man. And I was like, what? He's like, don't flush unless you have to take a shit. And I was like, okay. And I went into the toilet area, and clearly no one had taken a shit in a while, because it was just rancid yellow, full piss. Just, you know, when that piss gets kind of brown and thick, it was like that. And let me tell you, it had a smell as well, and that probably helped to intensify the cat smell, I think. So we're in here, and I'm already like, shit, dude, I don't even know if I want to leave my bag in here, because I don't want my clothes to smell like this. So we talked to the guy for a little bit, and he's like, I'm gonna turn in, and we're like, okay. And he's like, since it's kind of cool outside, I'll open the window in here, but I'm not gonna turn the air conditioning on. Hope that's okay. And we're like, Jesus fucking Christ. You know, we can't flush the toilet. We can't turn the AC on. What the hell's going on with this guy? So he opens the window, which was a godsend. It was something, but there was no breeze. There was nothing. We're like sitting in there. He goes in that other little room, shuts the door. There's these bunk beds in the living room that we're going to sleep on, I guess. You know, and Chris, he's just given up. You know, we've all kind of had some rumblings to each other about like, you smell this? You smell this? Yeah, like, and he's like, I fucking give up. I'm going to sleep. So he like just gets up there. I guess he just resigned himself to going to sleep. He must have incredible focus, knocks himself out and goes to sleep. Adam and I are now starting to trip balls because we ate a bunch of mushrooms. And we go outside to try to get some fresh air and smoke a cigarette. And I get on the phone for some reason and think it's a good time to call Katie and try to figure out the argument while I'm tripping and in this weird situation. And that, it just wasn't good. So then that sucks. And now we're like, man, we got to go back in there. I don't know what we're going to do. We decide to try to distract ourselves. Adam puts on Batman, the original, the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman. And we start watching that. And we were starting to feel a little froggy from the shrooms, you know. I mean, I guess I said we were tripping balls. It was starting. It was coming. But we knew we were tripping balls, really, when the first scene with Jack Nicholson has his Joker makeup on, and he delivers his line, and he smiles really wide. We were both watching it, and we both saw the exact same thing. The smile just like stretched across the whole screen of his laptop, just to pretty much break out of the boundaries of the screen. And we both kind of looked at each other, and Adam was like, I think I'm feeling it pretty good now. I was like, yeah, you are. So we tried to sleep in the hot, cat piss drenched just area. And Adam and I got very little sleep. I don't know how Chris did, but I do know that I was waiting for the morning rays of sun to start so we could get the fuck out. I even contemplated like, hey man, maybe we should get up like 5 and just leave and not tell this guy. But we didn't. We stayed, and I woke up, and it was like maybe 7:30, 8, and I kind of walked past that dude's door, and he's like in there playing Sonic the Hedgehog on computer screen or something, and I just kind of like, hey man, what's up? We're gonna go and hit the road. We're looking at our route. We need to get up to Tennessee a little earlier than we needed to, and thought so. And he was like, oh, I thought we were gonna go get breakfast and hang out for a little bit. I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to be able to do that. I'm so sorry, but thank you for your hospitality. And we pretty much burned out of there, all thankful. We asked Chris how he did it. He said he didn't know. He said 1 minute he was talking, the next minute he just woke up in the bed. And my theory is that he was poisoned by the cat fumes, and it had a intoxicating effect on him and rendered him incapacitated. I mean, he's lucky that there weren't those kind of weird rapey dudes hanging out. They might have taken advantage of him. Good thing me and Adam were there to protect his virginity, his nobility, his pureness. Anyway, we the whole way all we could talk about was how just awful that smelled, and we couldn't understand how that guy could live in there without dying or having that weird disease you get from cat piss that makes rats go crazy and attracted to cats. It's like cat zombieitis or something. I forget, but look it up. But no offense to you cat owners out there, I'm one myself, but if it gets that bad, if you've decided if that's where you are in your life, 4 cat boxes, I'm not cleaning them, you can't flush my toilet, don't you dare let the air circulate in this place. Maybe you don't invite people over anymore. Ever. All right, there we go. The old cat pissitis coming right up all inside us. Yeah, it was quite a harrowing experience. And while I don't want to come off as a complete asshole, I'm sure that it's probably too late with most of you, but it was very nice. Like I want to say the hospitality of the guy was great, and his heart was definitely in the right place. A lot of people have opened their homes to us when we've been on the road with both John Wayne is Dead and with touring with Micro Satan, our sketch group, and it's always awesome. And it means a lot, and we very much appreciate it. However, if going into this we had all the facts and details, I would have gladly I would have slept outside. I would have slept in the fucking car. I would have gladly paid my own personal money for a hotel room. It was pretty bad, folks. But you know what? Richer for the experience. Stronger because it didn't kill me. And I think I might have gained some weird mind power with cats, like a type of situation. So that's good. That could develop into something. Who knows? Maybe that's the new thing that I'm supposed to pursue, as the Eight of Pentacles has told me today. So there you have it, guys. Thanks again for listening. Please subscribe on iTunes and on my YouTube page, John Wayne is Dead, all one word. And tell your friends, and let's get this out there and keep it growing, because it's growing, and I appreciate it. You can check out every single thing that I do over at johnwayneisdead.com, all one word, including the show dates that John Wayne is Dead, my band, has coming up, which we just got a confirmed one today in November. That will be pretty big, but I'll announce it later when I have all the details, but it's going to be very exciting. And I have some readings coming up. I'll be up in Austin, October 21st, doing a reading with Mr. Lucas Mangum and many other Bizarro authors up there, and so I'll post about that, and I'll have a release event soon here in Houston that I will be telling you all about for my new book, Death Packs and Left Hand Paths, from Grindhouse Press. Again, if you wouldn't mind checking it out, giving it a try, it's on Kindle for only $2.99, or you can order the paperback. I'd really appreciate it. And tell your friends. Anyway, thanks again, guys. Don't forget to check out the store at John Wayne is Dead for all the other crazy things I have going on in there, records, t-shirts, enamel pins. And keep listening to the stories and keep telling them, and we'll keep buying them, and you keep listening to them, and we'll keep making them. And yeah, and it's just going to be a good old time. Thanks so much, everyone, from your pal John Wayne. We'll see ya when we see ya. Please do not cat pee ya.
Mockingbird Network.